I want to talk to you today about pleasure. Pleasure in life in general, pleasure in the things that we do and the things that we choose, and pleasure in our taste, pleasure in our world, and pleasure in our sexuality. They often say, how we do one thing is how we do everything. And so I want to really take us to like the pleasure potential that we all carry through our genitalia and those 8,000 nerve endings in a clitoris and even more than that in a penis, and what that is like when we can use that pleasure to get us to be more open and more receptive to all kinds of pleasure. So my name's Kim. I'm a sex educator and intimacy coach, and I work with women, men, and couples who are dissatisfied or disconnected from their sex life. And what I like to do is help them find more pleasure, more intimacy, and more fulfillment in their sex, with or without a partner. And so today I'm going to talk about that pleasure and how pleasure is enhanced through, for women, through the use of a jade egg and a jade egg practice. So how does jade egg impact the pleasure of my life, much less the pleasure of my yoni? For those of you who are familiar with jade egg, it's a very subtle practice for many. And so it isn't a big orgasmic, it's not like a vibrator, it's not like a direct clitoral stimulator. And so we don't always have a whole lot of really big experience in the beginning from just our egg. But what the egg does is the egg gets us to really, well, it does a lot of things, but one of the things it does is it really supports our vaginal dexterity. And vaginal dexterity is important because that dexterity is what allows our vaginas to awaken. It's what allows them to expand, to receive, to surrender. When we have dexterity and fluidity within our vagina, when we know how to use those muscles, when we're aware of how to contract and how to release, when we can pull things in, when we can push things out, when we have that kind of intimate knowledge with this part of our body, it really takes our responsibility for our pleasure, our sexual pleasure, for our orgasm, and takes it off of anything out there and brings that responsibility into me, into my body. I'm the one who knows how to move my vagina. I'm the one that knows how to use those muscles in a way that bring me the most pleasure. I know where my pleasure points are. I know how to activate them. And when I have a partner who wants to be in that pleasure place with me and who meets me in that place that what we want for each other is that, then I have access to way more pleasure. It opens up everything. And so what I like to say is that your egg practice, I wrote it down, your egg practice will translate into your pleasure. That's where it comes from. And so although the egg may not be an orgasmic tool all on her own, she absolutely enhances, increases, expands, and creates explosive orgasms. She gets us in touch with that internal place in such a way that even allows us to understand female ejaculation in a deeper way, how that ejaculation works, how to access yours, how that system comes together and creates the ejaculation and the orgasm that moves throughout your body. So I want to encourage you with your jade egg practice to really focus in sometimes on the dexterity of your vagina and learn how to use that vagina for the juiciest of pleasure. Have a good night. Bye-bye.